You know that classic image of Thanksgiving, right? The perfect golden brown turkey, the whole family smiling around the table. It's a day of pure, simple gratitude. But what's really going on behind that perfect picture? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real, sometimes chaotic, and totally fascinating story of a modern American Thanksgiving.
So, what is the real story here? We're about to find out. We're going to walk through 4 key moments that pretty much define the holiday today. We're talking everything from dinner disasters to digital debates. So yeah, you can forget that old Norman Rockwell painting. This is the real deal.
And let's start where every Thanksgiving story should, with the meal. But right off the bat, a theme starts to emerge. Things almost never go exactly the way you planned. For a whole lot of people, the first big event of the day isn't a culinary masterpiece, it's a frantic search for a plan B.
Okay, get a load of this number. Over 200,000 on a day that is dedicated, dedicated, to home cooking. What could this possibly be? It's not the number of turkeys sold, it's not pies baked, nope. This number tells a story of pure, unadulterated holiday panic.
And there it is. Over 200,000 people searching, is McDonald's open on Thanksgiving Day? Think about that. Whether the turkey got burnt to a crisp, the oven decided to quit, or someone just threw in the towel, this one search term tells you just how many Thanksgiving dinners go completely off the rails.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that the Golden Arches have kind of become the nation's unofficial holiday savior. For a staggering number of American families, fast food isn't just some random option. It's the absolutely essential Plan B that literally saves the day. It's an unexpected but very, very real part of the modern Thanksgiving tradition.
All right, so let's move from the chaos in the kitchen to the, potential chaos at the dinner table. Because once everyone's finally sitting down, the heat can come from something other than the food. The conversation, it inevitably drifts into some, let's say, more controversial topics.
And it's so interesting how big news stories always seem to find a seat at the table, right? A huge flashpoint this year is the government's decision to freeze immigration applications from Afghanistan. This all blew up in the headlines after a recent shooting in Washington, and it just turned this complex policy issue into a really personal, heated debate right here at home. It touches on everything: national security, human rights, our country's promises. It's basically designed to spark an intense conversation.
And this, right here, this lays out the two sides of the argument perfectly. On one side, you have supporters who see this as a totally necessary common-sense step to protect the country. But on the other side, you've got opponents who see it as a complete betrayal of our allies and a major blow to human rights. These aren't just casual opinions. These are deeply held beliefs. And you can just picture it, can't you? These two completely different worldviews clashing right there between the mashed potatoes and the stuffing.
So, after all that tension and political talk, what's the one thing everyone can turn to for a much-needed break? Football, of course. But here's the twist. This year, for a huge number of people, it wasn't even about the game. The real main event was happening at halftime.
So first up, at the Dallas Cowboys game, you had Post Malone, and he gave this really heartfelt, kind of country-inspired performance. People online were saying it was the most authentic Thanksgiving performance they'd seen. It just felt warm, traditional, a perfect fit for the holiday. But then, later that night, you get something completely different. Over at the Ravens game, Lil Jon hits the stage and basically turns the entire stadium into one giant high-energy nightclub. It was loud, it was wild, and it was the absolute opposite of that cozy country vibe from earlier.
And here's what's so wild. They were polar opposites in style, right? But both performances ended up doing the exact same thing. The clips just exploded on YouTube. They became the thing to talk about for everyone who wasn't, a diehard fan of the teams playing. They totally dominated social media.
Okay, so as the day winds down, the last of the leftovers are put away, the football games are over, and you can almost feel the entire country make this incredibly sharp turn. The whole spirit of gratitude just gives way, instantly, to the thrill of the hunt for a great deal.
And this transition happens in a flash. The moment that last bite of pumpkin pie is gone, the conversation just switches gears. Laptops flip open, phones come out, and the whole family suddenly turns into a special ops team planning their big retail assault for the next day.
So what's on everyone's mind this year? Well, with prices being what they are, the focus is sharper than ever. Online searches are just blowing up with two key things:
People are looking for the absolute best TV deals, and they're researching store queue strategies. It's all about getting the most bang for your buck.
And that leads to this final, really fascinating point. Even with online shopping being so huge now, that tradition of camping out for a deal is still going strong. These little tent armies that pop up outside the big box stores, it's a uniquely American sight, isn't it? It's proof of just how powerful and, weirdly, communal this Black Friday ritual has become.
So when you piece it all together, the backup plan of fast food, the political fights, the halftime shows that become the main event, and that immediate pivot to shopping, you have to ask the question, right? Is this chaotic, messy, multifaceted experience the real modern Thanksgiving? Maybe it's time we update that perfect picture in our heads.